So I'm going to do the even questions with you guys. If you have a question about the odd and I have time at the end, I'll go back to it. But if not, I put it in a video of all the odd ones. So for number 2, I have to determine if it's independent, dependent, or inconsistent. So what do I know about the slope and the y-intercept if it's independent? What is it? Different, different. So different slope, different y-intercept. What about if it's dependent? Same, same. So same slope, same y-intercept. And what about inconsistent? Same slope, different y-intercept. So if it's different slopes, it's automatically independent. Anytime the slopes are different, independent. So looking at number 2, it's already in slope-intercept form for us, so y equals mx plus b. So we can just look at it and see what our slope and our y-intercept is. So what's my slope for the first equation? 6. And what's my y-intercept? And then for my second one, what's my slope? -6. And what's my y-intercept? 3. Are my slopes the same? No, so if they're different, what is it? Independent. Number 4. What do I need to do to my first equation? First. No. Slope-intercept form, so how can I do that? Awesome. Subtract 2x on both sides. So I have y is equal to -2x plus 2. So here, what's my slope? -2. And what's my y-intercept? 2. Now in the second one, is it already in slope-intercept form? Yep. So what's my slope? -2. And what's my y-intercept? 2. Are my slopes the same? And are my y-intercepts the same? So what is it when it's same, same? Dependent. Any questions here? All right, let's look at number 6. For the first equation, it's not really in slope-intercept form, but can I look at it and see what my slope is? What's my slope? 7, and what's my y-intercept? -4. So remember, your slope is always what's in front of the x. So 7 is my slope. It's on my desk. You're welcome. For the second one, how do I get it to be y equals? What should I do? I could add y to both sides. That works. So I have 7x minus 2 is equal to y. So once I get that y equals, what's my slope? What's my slope? 7. And what's my y-intercept? -2. Are my slopes the same? Yes. Are my y-intercepts the same? No. Nope. So what is it? If it's same slope, different y-intercepts. Inconsistent. Yeah. So looking at number 8. Yes. So just like before, we want these to be in slope-intercept form, just so we can see what our slope is and our intercept, and it'll help us graph. So for the first equation, what's our slope? Bradley, what's the slope? -4/3. And what's the y-intercept? -3. What do I plot first on my graph? Nick? -3. So I'm going to put a point on my y-axis, since it's a y-intercept, at -3. And then my slope is -4/3. So which direction do I need to go? So if it's negative, do I go up or down? Down. So I'm going to go down 4 and to the right 3. That's off my graph. So instead of going down and to the right, I can just do the opposite of both of them. So I can go up 4 and to the left 3. And then just connect your dots. Now we want to do the same thing for the second equation. What's my slope? 2 over 3. And what's my y-intercept? 3. So I'm going to put a point at 3 on my y-axis, and then go which way for my slope? Up 2 and right 3. And then I could also go down 2 to the left 3. Where do these two lines intersect? Awesome, negative 3, 1. So remember, you always look at the x-axis first, so I go to the left to negative 3, and then up 1. So negative 3, 1. Any questions here? All right, let's look at number 10. Next one. So how can I get this into slope-intercept form? I want it to be y equals. What can I do for the first equation? Subtract 3x. So I have y equals what? Negative 3x minus 3. So what's my slope? Negative 3. And what's my y-intercept? Negative 3. So I'm going to put a point at negative 3. And then how do I do the slope of negative 3? I could go up and to the left or down and to the right. So since it's negative, you go down. You always go to the right. But since that's off the graph, you can do the opposite of both. Go up 3 to the left 1. Up 3 to the left 1. So there's that line. Now let's do the other one. So how do I get it to be y equals for my second equation? Subtract 3x. So y is equal to what? Negative 3x plus 4. So what's my slope? Negative 3. And what's my y-intercept? 4. So where do I put my first point? At 4 on the y-axis. My slope is negative 3, so I'm going in which direction? Down. And right or left? Down 3 to the right 1. Down 3 to the right 1. Down 3 to the right 1. Just connect your dots. Do my lines intersect? No. So what would my answer be? Do I have an answer?
Isn't it, it's no solution?
No solution. So when your lines don't touch, your answer is no solution. What about if you have the same exact line? So if I had a line here and another one here. Say, infinitely many solutions. So if it were the same exact line, it's infinitely many solutions. Any questions? All right, let's look at number 12. So for 12 in my first equation, what's my slope? Negative 1. And what's my y-intercept? Negative 3. So what's my first point I'm going to put on my graph?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. And then how do I do the slope of negative 1?
Negative 1 over 1. So you just go down 1 to the right 1.
Down 1 to the right 1. Just connect your dots. So then for the second one, what's my slope? 1/2. And what's my y-intercept? 3. So what's the first point I'm going to put on my graph? 3 on the y-axis. And how do I do the slope of 1/2?
Go up 1 to the right 2.
Up 1 to the right 2. Then just connect your lines. Where do these two lines intersect? -4, 1. Awesome. So I go to the left 4 and then up 1. So x, y. Any questions on graphing? So for the next 3 questions, we have to solve by substitution. What's always the first step we want to do when solving substitution?
Check if it's like y equals or x equals.
We want to get one of our variables isolated. So here, we already have y equals. So what do we do with this?
Just plug it into the bottom equation.
Awesome. Plug it into the other equation, into y. Since it's y equals this, you're plugging it into y. So I have -2x plus 4 times -4x minus 6 equals -24. Whenever you plug it in, make sure you put it in parentheses, because that's super important. Because what's the next step we have to do? Distribute. So I want to make sure I multiply this 4 to the -4 and to the -6. So I have -2x. What's 4 times -4x? -16x. And 4 times -6? -24. What should I do next? Combine like terms. So what's -2x minus 16x? -18x minus 24 equals -24. What's next? Add 24. So -18x is equal to, what's -24 plus 24? 0. Then what should I do? What is 0 divided by -18? 0. 0. So then x is equal to 0. That's one of my answers. How do I find y? Plug in 0 for x. You could plug it into the first or the second. Just make sure you're plugging it in for x. So which one do you want to plug it into? Let's plug it into the first. So I have y is equal to -4 times 0 minus 6. So what's -4 times 0?
0.
And 0 minus 6?
So y equals
Y equals -6. How do I write my answer? 0, -6. Let's look at 16. So again, we're using substitution. Do I have a variable that's isolated? No. Looking at it, which variable do you think would be best to isolate? The x in the first one or the second? The first one. Since that x is already all by itself, kind of, it doesn't have a number in front, that one looks like it would be the best. So how do I move that minus y to the other side? Add y. So x is equal to what? Y minus 1. So now that I have x isolated, what should I do? So plug this into x in the other one. So I have 6 times y minus 1 plus 7y is equal to 20. Tara, what should I do first to solve? Multiply. So I want to distribute. So what's 6 times y?
6y.
And 6 times -1? So 6y minus 6 plus 7y is equal to 20. What should I do next? Combine the like terms. So it's 6y plus 7y. 13y minus 6 is equal to 20. What should I do next?
Add the 6.
Add the 6. So 13y is equal to 26. Divide by 13. So y is equal to what? 2. So y is 2. How do I find x?
You have to plug in the y
Plug in the y. Do I want to plug it into the first or the second?
first.
First one looks a little bit easier, so let's plug it into the first. So I have x minus 2 is equal to negative 1. How do I solve for x?
You have to
Add
add 2.
2. So x is equal to 1. How do I write my answer? 1, comma 2. Any questions? You guys good with this one?
Yeah.
So let's look at 18. Do I have a variable isolated already?
Yes.
The y. So what do I do with what y is equal to?
Plug in the numbers to y.
Plug in the numbers to y. So negative 3x minus 3 times 8x plus 12 is equal to 18. What should I do first to solve? What am I distributing? Negative 3. So I have negative 3x. What's negative 3 times 8x?
Negative 24x.
Negative 24x. And negative 3 times 12?
Negative 36.
Negative 36. What should I do next?
Combine like terms.
Combine like terms. What's
Negative 27x.
awesome? Add 36 to both sides. So negative 27x is equal to 54. Then what do I do?
Divide 27.
So what's x equal to?
X equal to negative 2.
Awesome. Any questions? How do I find y? Plug in x. Do you want to plug it into the first or the second? Second. It doesn't matter. Just plug it into whichever one you want. Just make sure you plug it into the right variable. So if y is equal to 8 times negative 2 plus 12. What do I do first to solve?
Multiply. You get negative 16.
And what's negative 16 plus 12?
That's negative 4. You write your answer as negative 2, negative 4.
Negative 2, negative 4. Do you want to come up here and teach the class?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Good job. Do you guys have any questions on this one? Yeah. All right, so let's look at 20. Do I have anything that'll cancel out right off the bat?
Yeah.
All of them. So 0 equals 0, so infinitely many solutions. Awesome. So nice when they all cancel.
Yeah, put all of them on one test. Put all of them on the test.
No.
Is there gonna be one like that?
There might.
That would be very interesting.
All right, for 22, do you have anything that'll cancel out right away?
Yes.
Negative 9.
The negative 9 and the 9. So remember, you need the same number, but they have to be opposites in order to cancel. So if you had negative 9 and negative 9, those wouldn't cancel. But we have negative 9 and positive 9. So these cancel. So you just add all of your like terms together. So what's negative 7y plus 4y? Negative 3y. And 1 plus 11?
Was 12.
What do I do next?
5 by negative 3.
So what's y equal to?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. How do I find x? Plug in y into y. I like the second one better, so I'm going to plug it in there. But again, it doesn't matter, just make sure you're plugging it into y. So 9x plus 4 times negative 4 is equal to 11. What should I do first to solve? I multiply, so I have 9x minus 16 is equal to 11.
Add
Add
16.
16.
That leaves you with 27, x equals 27, and then you not distribute, but divide.
So what's x equal to?
3.
3. How should I write my answer?
3,
3,
comma,
negative
negative 4.
3, comma, negative 4. Any questions? All right, 24. Do I have anything that'll cancel out right away? No. So what do I have to do to get them to cancel out?
Multiply.
Multiply what?
The second one by 2.
I can multiply the second one by 2. So the second one becomes 12x plus 10y is equal to negative 20. I'm going to rewrite the first one right below it just so I can see when I add them together. So what cancels here?
The y and
The y's. Those will cancel too, but
the 20 and
what's 12x minus 4x? 8x. And then negative 20 plus 20? 0. They cancel, but it's just 0. Because you wouldn't want to cancel it and it be equal to like nothing. Make sure you write the 0. So then how do I solve for x?
Divide by 8.
Divide by 8. So what's x equal to?
0.
0.
oh right. I thought it was like the one where it's like 0. You know?
That's only when all of your variables
The
cancel.
solution one.
That's when all of your variables cancel.
Oh, okay.
How do I solve for y? Matthias.
I use the first one.
Okay, we can plug it into the first one. So I have negative 4
0.
times 0 minus 10y
20.
equals 20. So it's negative 4 times 0?
0.
0.
Minus 10y equals 20.
So that 0 you really don't even need because it's just 0. So negative 10y equals 20.
You divide.
Divide by what?
Negative 10.
Divide by negative 10.
Which then leaves you with y equals negative 2.
Awesome. How do I write my answer? 0, comma, negative 2. Alright, I'm going to do one more just for extra practice of the eliminations. Let's look at 23. Do any of my variables cancel out right away? No. So how do I get them to cancel?
Multiply by negative 2.
Awesome. Multiply by negative 2. Since this is a positive 6, I want this one to be a negative 6. So I have to multiply this whole thing by negative 2. So this becomes positive 4x minus 6y is equal to negative 22. I'm going to rewrite my first equation right below it just to help me out when I add it. So now looking at my terms, what's going to cancel?
6y.
The 6y. So I have negative 6y and positive 6y. Those go bye-bye. What's 4x minus 5x? negative x.
and
And then that's equal to?
um,
Negative 8. So then what's x equal to? 8. How do I find y? Plug in 8. Do you want to plug it into the first or the second? The second. So I have negative 2 times 8 plus 3. Y is equal to 11. Tara, what should I do to solve? Multiply. So negative 2 times 8.
Negative 16.
Marina, what should I do next?
Plus 16 on both sides.
Add 16 on both sides. So 3y is equal to 27. Danielle, what should I do next? Divide by 3. So what's y equal to? 9. Awesome. How would I write my answer?
8, 9.
Perfect.